And Badgers, we are underway from the Kohl Center. Nebraska going left to right. Up top, Jessica Petrie. She'll get it back on the outside. Capable three-point shooter. Left that one short. Gift Uchenna claims the first rebound for the Badgers.
Well, it was a good look. Both Badger defenders committed to Britt Prince on the roll. And Prince doing what she does best, finding the open girl. And it was a good look, but no dice.
Wisconsin 12-7 on the year. An early turnover for them. They're 4-4 in conference at Jimmy. They had 4 conference wins in the entirety of last season, and they're going to have at least 10 more games in conference. So for this Badger team, if they were to hypothetically lose out, it'd still be a successful season, but they got the chance to get greedy here.
Yeah, it's been an awesome year for Wisconsin, especially considering it's year one under a new coach, a new regime, and it wasn't going very well, to put it lightly, in the years prior, but clearly Robin Pingington has done her job turning this program around in year one still. So there's a lot to come, but so far the early returns have been promising.
That was Logan Nisley on the pass. Down low to Haight. Kick out three-pointer at the horn is off the mark. Batted out of bounds. And Wisconsin will take over.
You can see the ball movement that the Huskers get on offense. It looked like every single Husker out there touched the ball on that possession. And once again, they get a good look from three early in the game. But so far, Wisconsin's, they got to batten the hatches a little bit coming out and defending the three-point line. They're committing heavy to the screens and to the drives, which has left 2 open shooters on back-to-back possessions.
Kira Daniels blocked by Maupin under the basket. Eliza Maupin, one of the many talented defenders for this team, transfer from Kansas State. Just a really wiry defender, and there she is under the basket to get the first points of the game.
And that was a phenomenal pass right there. To find Eliza Maupin wide open under the rim, and once again, Wisconsin just getting beat on a cut. Great find for the Huskers, and you can see the ball movement already in this game for Nebraska has been phenomenal so far.
Daniels driving in, tough shot, Uchenna the rebound, and she's got it, +1. Gift Uchenna led the nation in rebounds last year, and she has made her presence felt for Wisconsin this year.
And she's only 2 away from 500 career rebounds, and that's going to be a big point of emphasis, I think, tonight for Wisconsin is going to be points in the paint. We know they shoot very well. They're a very good three-point shooting team. They take the most three-pointers in the Big Ten Conference. But I think Nebraska has the size advantage as a roster in this game. So Wisconsin's going to have to make it a point of emphasis to rebound as a team and to get the ball inside. And Uchenna's going to have a lot on her shoulders tonight as the Wisconsin's best interior paint presence.
Maupin, the cross on Steele, breaks in the paint with authority. She gets the foul. Almost the end one, but it rimmed out. But again, Eliza Maupin making her presence felt early for the Cornhuskers.
And she beat her defender, got to the rim, and Uchenna right there kind of just reached in, didn't really need to do it. I thought Lacey Steele did a good job of walling up on Maupin. Right there, just keep your hands in, let the defender do her job, but ultimately you get the foul and send the free throw line for 2 free points.
Maupin shooting 81% from the free throw line from Webster Groves, Missouri. And Jimmy, she has 10 siblings. You know, when I saw that, I thought to myself, I feel like you want to stop once you're at 10. That way you can do 5-on-5 with the whole family, but now someone's got to be left out, you'd have to say.
I know. Props to her parents for being able to handle that many kids. I know that is something that's not in my future.
Ball deflected out of bounds. Ronnie Porter will inbound. Ronnie Porter, senior point guard for the Badgers. Up top to Kira Daniels. Daniels hit a bank 3 to end regulation. Ooh, in the corner, Ronnie Porter. Now Gift Uchenna slides her way in, stops, uses the space, and hits.
Yeah, she got the leverage there on Maupin. She was in the paint when she caught the ball. Already had Maupin backed in pretty deep and was able to do a nice pivot, you know, get the chicken wing out there and get to the far side and lay it in.
Stolen away by Porter, a runway to the rim, and relentless Ronnie gives the Badgers the lead.
And she's Wisconsin's probably the best defender on this team, and really the only, you know, leveling presence is she was the only returning starter from a season ago, and she has been great for Wisconsin on both ends of the ball, being a good distributor and also wreaking havoc on the defensive end. She's got a tall task for her today, going up against Prince, who is one of the best point guards in the country.
Right on cue, Britt Prince confidently knocks down her first shot of the game. Britt Prince, Nancy Lieberman Award candidate, and she hit an ISO jumper against Michigan State to give Nebraska the lead with 50 seconds left. That was a barn burner of a game if we've seen one, but Nebraska came up just short in that one. As you said, still looking for the first ranked win of the season. They're 14-4 on the season. Started 12-0, but lost 4 of 6. That said, their 4 losses all up against top 20 teams.
Yeah, and that's just what the Big Ten's going to be this season. You've got 8 teams in the top 25. There's going to be absolutely no gimmies all year long. And Nebraska, that Michigan State one's even more disheartening because the way it ended, Britt Prince's, like you said, her jumper put them up 71-69, and it was ultimately 4 free throws that got Michigan State the win in the end. And when you're that close to getting such a big win on the road, it can be a little disheartening. So it's going to be important for them to just stay focused. You know, you're on the road again. Come in here and look for that big bounce-back win.
And Jimmy, in that game, there were 10 lead changes, but 7 minutes into the game, Nebraska had 5 points and 7 turnovers, but in the final 3 minutes of the quarter, 12 points. So this offense, when they get hot from 3, they can flip that switch, and they can really outscore just about anybody in the nation. Yeah,
and some quick stats on this Husker offense, which has been so good. And like I've mentioned already in this game, the ball movement has been phenomenal. They are 9th in the country in assists per game, and they rank 12th in D1 for assist-to-turnover ratio, getting about 1.5 more assists than turnovers per game, which is something that is not very easy to do.
Yeah, rarely do they score a bucket that is not off of an assist. We talked to the Wisconsin coaching staff, and they told us that it's like the ball is on fire, the way they will just move it around and rack up assists under the basket. Amaya Hargrove gets her first points.
And there you go again, another assist to a bucket. Amaya Hargrove, we mentioned her in the open. She has been very, very good for the Huskers as of late. A lot of people, you know, would expect sophomore slumps, but she has been a sophomore revelation, really coming on strong since the Big Ten play started.
Howell, quick 3, missed.
Here on the replay, believe that is number 12, Jessica Petrie. I couldn't really see the number, but regardless, a phenomenal play to chase down a loose ball. It's a 50-50 ball, and even though the momentum was carrying them out of bounds, have the ball knowledge to be able to throw that off the Badger defender and save another possession for Nebraska.
Claire Johnson subs in for the Cornhuskers, as does Kennedy Williams, number 15. And here's Britt Prince. Gets a screen from Bojan. Prince pulls up again. This time she missed it. Ronnie Porter soars in for the rebound. She had 7 against Oregon. Now a streaking pass down. Gift Uchenna under the rim. She's got 8 points for the Badgers.
Really, really nice transition offense there from Wisconsin. 2 stretch passes, and Gift Uchenna, who was able to contest Britt Prince on the mid-range shot at the defensive end, hustles all the way down, running the floor. That's what you need your bigs to do, and that was a phenomenal play right there from Gift Uchenna, who, like you said, Vince, off to a red-hot start in this game.
Kira Daniels as well was streaking down the floor after that miss. Nebraska, not a team that collects too many fast break points. In fact, they had none against Michigan State. They're very comfortable at the half-court set. Lily Cron, one of the deadly assassins from three-point land. Ooh, Gift Uchenna off the side, but no harm, no foul. Gets the rebound back. And now Kira Daniels wants it. Rebound collected by Britt Prince. Britt Prince with pace down the floor. Kick out, open 3. Petra Bojan missed it. Bojan shooting .227 from deep on the year. Spent the summer with the Croatian U20 team from Split, Croatia, to be specific.
And she's had 2 good looks from 3 so far in this game. That'll fall eventually. It's a good job by Britt Prince, once again, like we mentioned, the catalyst for this Huskers offense, driving the lane in transition, making the Wisconsin defense collapse, and then kicking it back out to an open shooter.
Lobbed up to Uchenna, working on Prince, spins in and gets the bucket. Gift Uchenna is unconscious for the Badgers, double digits already.
Well, she did a good job of recognizing the mismatch. She had the point guard Britt Prince on her, recognized that she had the height advantage, the size advantage, and just went to work in the paint.
Turnover Nebraska. Wisconsin takes over the Cornhuskers in the middle of a 2-minute
narrative around their Big Ten play and start a better, brighter future.
And for Nebraska, it's been same old for them, but that's just the way they like it. They've made the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, slated to make it this year as well, currently ranked. Destiny Howell works her way inside, missed the shot. And a rebound collected by Maupin. Destiny Howell had 39 points last time out against Oregon, starting off 0 for 2, or 0 for 3 rather. but still plenty of time to make her presence felt. Muffin, a terrific pass inside, and Hargrove ties the game.
And Destiny Howell is one of 6 transfers the Badgers were able to pick up in the offseason, which is commonplace in today's game in college sports. You know, new head coach, even if you don't have a new head coach, a lot of times there's so much roster turnover.
Ware
Destiny
lost the
Howell's
ball.
been phenomenal for Wisconsin so far this year.
Claire Johnson up the floor. Britt Prince driving in on Lily Cron. Oh, the extra feed. Moppin blocked from behind with a foul. And Jimmy, we've been talking a lot about Gift Uchenna, but Eliza Moppin already at 4 points and headed to the free throw line.
And once again, you can see both Badger defenders in the area commit to Britt Prince, which leaves Eliza Moppin open. And that forces the far side help of Destiny Howell to try to slide down and make a play. But ultimately, it's not really achievable when you're trying to make a block from behind there. And Moppin to the free throws now.
Missed the first free throw, averages 9 points per game. And you can just see the length and athleticism so far, her ability to get down the floor and elevate. And she has proved that throughout her entire career, no matter what sport she's playing. In high school, she was a state champion in high jump twice. Brianna Ware, one of the transfers for the Badgers from Stony Brook. She's at the controls, turned the ball over last possession. And Kennedy Williams almost got another one for the Huskers. Doria Jaya, turn it over. Here come the Huskers. Callan Hake with a pick 6.
That was phenomenal press defense there from the Huskers in the half court. It looked like Brianna Ware actually carried earlier in the possession. Kennedy Williams right on her with some great defense, and then ultimately, you know, it's Callan Hake who jumps the passing lane, a quick steal, and an easy 2 for the for the Huskers.
Steele lines up the 3. She hits. Lacey Steele, the first 3-pointer of the game for either team.
That's kind of Wisconsin's bread and butter on offense. They do kind of live and die by the 3. They are first in the Big Ten and 32nd D1 with 25.93 point attempts per game.
Mopping the rebound, 3 on the way, batted high in the air, slapped around and controlled by Jaya. Cron down the floor, up to Ware. Now Steele gets a defender in the air, drives in confidently and scores again. The NC State transfer up to 5.
And it was a great pump fake to get Moppin in the air, and then a nice drive and finishing through contact for a nice 2.
Hake with the lane, out to Nisley. 3-pointer on the way, off front iron, not there. Kennedy Williams, the one who shot it. Daniels down the floor, Wisconsin leading. Ware shooting 48% on the season from deep. Lily Cron, 47. The 2 Assassins going 3 and 4, both on the floor for the Badgers. Ware guarded by Hargrove. Puts up the 3, missed it long. Shot clock turned off for Nebraska. Kennedy Williams to Hargrove. Out to Moppin. 3, not there. Rebound Hargrove, 3 seconds on the clock. Puts up the jumper at the horn, not there. And Wisconsin leads 17-15 as quarter. Thank you so much, Izzy. Gift Uchenna has had such a strong showing, as we mentioned, but what makes it even more impressive is that last time out against Oregon, she was 5 of 14 on the day, along with 8 rebounds. But she missed a few that she probably should have had, Jimmy, and now she is really hitting from everywhere.
And she has been a force so far in this game, and like I mentioned earlier, coming into this game, she had 498 career rebounds. She's got 6 today, so congrats to Gift Uchenna for surpassing 500 career rebounds.
Shea Bolin missed the 3 for the Badgers, mopping the rebound. Britt Prince, bounce pass down low. Turnaround hook shot, not there. Jessica Petrie on the shot.
And you probably want Petrie. She had good positioning low in the post. Instead, kind of went with a fadeaway push layup with the left hand. In that situation, you know, in the future, you probably want to go into the body, try to get a layup in.
Gift Uchenna again. She's up to 12. And for Wisconsin, when they're in these upset games, or any team when they are playing against a ranked opponent, you're going to need one of your players to take over like Destiny Howell did against Oregon. And right now, Gift Uchenna has carried the load for this Badger team. Wisconsin has shot 21 times. Uchenna has 9 of those shots. He has 6 of their 9 makes. But right now for Nebraska, Jimmy, they are 0 for 9 from 3. It feels like Wisconsin are playing with fire a little bit every second that Nebraska doesn't have a three-pointer.
Yeah, and it's not like Nebraska hasn't gotten good looks. In fact, I've counted 4 or 5 wide-open threes that just haven't fallen. And if you're Nebraska, you can't get discouraged. Eventually, those shots will go in. They're a good three-point shooting team. You just got to keep going at it and, shoot or shoot. Eventually, it'll start falling.
Great defense by Eliza Maupin under the basket, forced to travel. And now Maupin thought she would inbound, but now we'll defer to Britt Prince. Here's another look.
Good job walling up Giff Uchenna, who's been good. Maybe bringing a double there, a little adjustment from the Huskers to try to slow down Uchenna and try to claw back into this game. They're only down by 4. And Wisconsin, like you said, Vince, playing with fire because Nebraska's not going to, put up donuts from beyond the arc for the entire game.
Britt Prince with 7 on the shot clock, guarded by Kira Daniels. Double comes in, Prince up top, Maupin with 2. What a feed underneath, and the bucket is true. Jessica Petrie caps off an impressive job by Nebraska to salvage the possession.
And once again, great ball movement from Nebraska, beating the help defense. Wisconsin was rotating a lot, and late in the shot clock, it gets a little hectic. Britt Prince found Maupin at the top of the key. Maupin kept her eyes open, saw Petrie wide open under the basket, found her, and a nice 2 late in the shot clock.
Giff Uchenna back to work on Petrie and back on the scoreboard.
And she has just gone to work down in the low post. A lot of pivots, hesitations, has gotten her good looks, good layups. She's beating her defender just about every time right now.
Hake up top. Now it's Petrie's turn to attack. The feed under the basket to Maupin draws a foul.
And once again, it looked like the help defense was a little late there from the Badgers. They slid both defenders to guard the roll from Petrie, as you can see here on the replay. Yeah, Uchenna, it's Kira Daniels who's coming from the weak side. Uchenna, probably like in both those situations, Kira Daniels to be a little quicker on the fire to get over there and guard the roll. And for Uchenna, she's got to recognize a little earlier that there's a switch on the defense, and she's got to pick up Maupin in that situation.
Foul will go on Kira Daniels. That's her first of the game. Hake to inbound under the Husker net. Trying to get it into somebody. And out the pack, here's Britt Prince to the corner, turned it over. Kira Daniels with Britt behind her. And Britt Prince slaps out of bounds and shuts down the Badgers' fast break opportunity.
And a testament right there to Britt Prince's hustle. She made a poor turnover trying to pull off what looked to be like a no-look pass, trying to draw on Kira Daniels and then kick it out to her teammate, but immediately gets on her horse and sprints back down the court to recover on defense and prevent a wide-open layup in transition for the Badgers.
Ronnie Porter under the basket to Daniels. Set play masterpiece by the Badgers to find an excellent offensive player all alone. Hake thought about the 3, now back up top. Steele went for the steal. Logan Nisley at the controls. Foul off ball, it will go on the Badgers.
It looks like it might be in trying to fight over a screen. And they'll get you on that every time if you gotta make sure that you're trying to defend, but you can't just run straight into a screener and blow it up. You gotta make it a valid effort to get around the screen.
That will go on Ronnie Porter. That's her first of the game. She fouled out of the contest against Oregon in overtime. Maupin to the corner. Open 3 on the way. And Nebraska now 0 for 10 from deep. They shoot 36% as a team. They have 4 players shooting over 40%. Daniel is going to work on Prince. Wanted to Uchenna underneath, but Britt Prince got the steal.
And that was great defense there, not biting, making sure she got her hands up in the passing lanes. A nice steal there for Britt Prince.
Callan Hake off the screen from Maupin. Steps back mid-range at the top of the key, off front iron, not there. Lacey Steele over to Ronnie Porter. Up top, Shea Bolin, 3-pointer, no. Uchenna the rebound. Uchenna the kick out to Kira Daniels. Ronnie Porter, Daniels 3-pointer, it's good! Kira Daniels. And Wisconsin all season, but so far in Madison there must be something in the air. 7 of 21 on the day, 0 of 10 from deep for one of the nation's preeminent offensive forces.
You can see Wisconsin's looking to keep the pressure on. They're bringing a little, not full court press, but a soft press to continue to disrupt the Huskers as they bring it into the court. You can see it's working right here with the shot clock training.
Hargrove has to fire and hits. A crowd silencer. Amaya Hargrove knocks it down, and Nebraska gets their first 3 of the game here in the second.
Yeah, she was kind of caught right under the three-point line at the top of the key. Good awareness, though, to look up and see that the clock was running down and be able to get a shot off.
Steele has it poked away. She'll let the ball bounce out of bounds, and will keep possession for Wisconsin. And Amaya Hargrove, she had that tremendous 21-point game off the bench last time out, but now already up to 8 points on 4 of 5 shooting. And here she is on the defensive end as well with help from Maupin.
You saw in that replay, Maupin, once again, she's had the Huskers have gotten off to a slow start by their standards. Maupin has been phenomenal so far in this game, and you could see on that replay, a few seconds ago, she was right there getting her hand and knocking the ball away from Lacey Steele, and now ball back to the Huskers.
0 point Nebraska way. Now Kennedy Williams guarded by Destiny Howell. And another off-ball foul that will go on Destiny Howell. And Howell on the heels of that 39-point game, Jimmy. 0 for 3, her second personal foul.
And that is a big development here early in this game because Destiny Howell has arguably been the Badgers' best player this season, surely their best scorer. 39, like you mentioned, against Oregon. She off to a rough start here.
Throwing the other way for the Badgers. Britt Prince soars in and gets the steal.
And she's doing it on both ends, Prince. That's her second great defensive play of this game.
Destiny Howell, the rebound for the Badgers. Ball loose on the ground. Howell gets the way, turns it over. Britt Prince at the elbow, inside to Hargrove. Up top, Britt Prince for 3. Was there any doubt that the nation's #1 3-point shooter would knock it down?
And what a sequence there from Prince. She gets not 1, but 2 steals. Tried to get it. The first shot didn't fall, but then relocates, sets up outside, wide open 3, and she drills it.
Britt Prince, 52% from 3. As a high usage player as well. And we talked to the Badger coaching staff. Assistant coach Evan Johnson just said that Britt Prince in particular, just no weaknesses in her game, especially offensively. Of course, she can slash her way to the rim. She can knock down the 3, but her mid-range shot as well is what gave the Huskers the lead at the end of the game against Michigan State. She's had a great freshman season. Her sophomore campaign has only made her a better player. You got to think she has a very long future in the sport of basketball, Jimmy.
And you mentioned a lot of scoring stats there, but what also makes her super dangerous is you have to honor her passing ability too. As good as she is a scorer, she's just as good of a playmaker.
Inside, Shea Bolin had it swiped away by Prince. Bolin gets it back, has to put it up. Uchenna, the offensive board, got it again! Gift Uchenna, 16 points. Hargrove back to work. Open 3 from the outside, now back to Hargrove. Mouse on the house, and 1!
I don't think Hargrove realized initially that she had the smaller Ronnie Porter on her. She kicked it back out. And then Bojan sent it right back in. Hargrove goes right up with it, gets the bucket and the foul. Now she'll have a free throw.
And Jimmy Amaya Hargrove listed at 6'2". Ronnie Porter just 5'2". There's really not much that the senior point guard could do about that.
Yeah, foot difference there. For all you math people at home.
You had to bust out the T80 for that one?
Yeah, that was my calc expertise coming out.
Hargrove misses the free throw. But Nebraska has really done a nice job of whittling down this deficit. It's down to 4, and their defense has been swarming lately.
Yeah, and I look at Britt Prince's defense mainly. She's got 3 steals, nearly had a 4th one on the possession before this one that has really allowed Nebraska to slowly chip away at this lead.
Wisconsin wanted the ball to Gift Uchenna, but instead a foul will go on Petrie. That's just her first. Steele to inbound. Daniels again, right back to Steele. Lily Cron open from the outside. It's good!
And it was a good play out of the set piece on the out of bounds. And it looked like Lacey Steele was open under the rim, but she found a better option, kicking it out to Lily Cron, who, like you mentioned earlier, Vince, is an assassin from behind the three-point line.
Senior from Prairie du Chien, just a few miles from here. And she has done her job incredibly well. Britt Prince steps over Cron, missed the jumper, Bull in the rebound. Wisconsin leading by 7 with 2 minutes, 16 seconds left in the second quarter.
Nebraska's starting to press a little bit on defense.
Steele uses a screen from Uchenna. Now Uchenna, she's been working on that jump shot. Around and out. Daniels back up. Still loose, and Nebraska secures. Hargrove the rebound. Turnover. Daniels got it, +1. Wisconsin unconscious on offense.
And that was an example of never giving up on the play by Kira Daniels. She was under the rim working hard for an offensive rebound, got it initially, then missed the shot. Didn't give up on it, though, when the Huskers finally got the board. Kept playing on defense. That was phenomenal there from Kira Daniels, keeping the pressure on for the Badgers.
And Daniels will cap off the end one, and she'll get the steal as well. But I think, again, it was Gift Uchenna, Jimmy, who might have slipped a hand in there to dislodge that ball. Mopping up top for the Huskers. Now Petrie driving in on Bolin, foul called. And Wisconsin, they did not have one to give. Nebraska now in the bonus.
And good job by the Badgers taking the counter punch. They came out, punched the Huskers, stretched their lead to 9. Nebraska was able to counter punch, cut the lead down to 4, but then over the past minute and change, the Badgers have gone on a 6-0 run to stretch the lead back out to 10.
Petrie averaging 12 points per game on the season. Junior from Gold Coast, Australia. Her father played 11 years in Australia's National Basketball League. And Petrie gets the second free throw to go.
And Petrie is one of the Huskers who got a lot of playing time when her number got called when Natalie Potts, the former Big Ten Freshman of the Year in 2024, went down with a torn ACL last November. Petrie got her number called, and she has stepped up for the Huskers when head coach Amy Williams needed her most.
Daniels again, missed it. Spasovsky, the Serbian, almost got the rebound. And now scrapping on the ground. Uchenna out the pack, tried to get it away, but a held ball called. Arrow points towards Wisconsin.
And if you're going to circle one stat in the box score right now, I would look at rebounds. Wisconsin out-rebounding Nebraska 24-10 so far in this game, and 10-2 on the offensive glass.
Jimmy, I hadn't seen that. That is unprecedented.
It's a significant margin.
Wisconsin shooting 15 of 33 on the game, good for 46%. Nebraska 10 of 26, that's 39%. But as we said, every passing moment is an opportunity for this Nebraska offense to get hot, and once they do, they can light up any team in the nation. Almost took down Michigan State, who has just one loss on the season. Ironically, Jimmy, that one loss that Nebraska had, it was a definitive, or that Michigan State had, it was in this building. The Badgers took care of business against the Spartans for one of their premier wins this season.
And you know who had a great performance in that game? Same person who's having a great performance right now in this game. It was Gift Uchenna. She had 14 points and 15 rebounds for a double-double in that game, and she has been phenomenal here in the first half. And we'll look to see Nebraska down by 9 right now. Their offenses look good. They're getting good looks. They're moving the ball well. It's just the three-point shot just hasn't fallen.
I think that we may have some kind of review.
Clock issue, maybe?
Yeah.
Adding a second or two? Not sure.
Could be any number of things, but we are back to work from Madison. Lily Cron to inbound. Badgers up 9. Cron's got no one to get it into. Spasovsky in the corner. Daniels inside to Uchenna. Gift Uchenna working on Petrie. Leans in, scores again! Gift Uchenna up to 18 points.
It's just that little hesitation. Petrie was playing solid defense, But Uchenna driving to her right, just hesitated a moment, which forced Petrie to move, and then she laid it in.
Uchenna with the block. And Jimmy, I know I shouldn't say this, but Wisconsin lost one of their program greats in Sarah Williams last year as Daniels puts up the three and missed it. Steal a rebound, round and in for her. But Gift Uchenna, Jimmy, if you squint, there's a few Sarah Williams comparisons in there, especially with how she's playing in this game.
Yeah, she's having a phenomenal performance. And you saw, like you mentioned, right there, down there, the block. Wisconsin's played great defense tonight, too. Nebraska does not have a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes.
3 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Britt Prince guarded by Uchenna. All alone under the basket is Petrie, but a turnover.
That was another great play by Gift Uchenna, coming out and hedging on the screen, making it harder for Britt Prince to find the roller, who was wide open. I think it was Petrie who was rolling to the rim. Gift Uchenna came out, committed to hedging on the screen, blocked the line of vision for Prince, and ultimately she threw it a little too high, and a big turnover here in the final seconds of the second quarter.
9 seconds left in the first half. Badgers leading by 13, attempting to put the exclamation point on an incredible performance. Daniel, the deep three, missed it all, out of bounds, clock expires, and that will do it for half number one. The Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I think she honestly had a better first half than the stats showed, but I think she's got to be a little more selfish with the ball. Try to get her looks, try to get scoring. She averages 18 points a game on the season. We'll see if she can get really get going offensively here in the second half.
Prince is doubled by the Badgers. The kick out three, Hake missed it, but Maupin soars in, and a foul under the basket will go on the Badgers.
And if I had to say one more thing, what the Cornhuskers need to change, it's emblematic on that play right there. They need to do better rebounding. They need to hit the glass as a team, because clearly it wasn't working whatever they were doing in the first half. They got out-rebounded 26-11, so doing better on the glass is going to be key for the Cornhuskers here in the second half.
And Maupin goes right back up. She is fouled, and she is headed to the free throw line. If Nebraska can work themselves back into this contest, Eliza Maupin is going to be one of the big reasons why. Already up to 5 points today, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds though. And Jimmy, I believe Nebraska, they had 10 rebounds in the first half. Gift Uchenna alone had 10 for the Badgers.
And she was a force in that first half, really good offensively down in the post, and she was just more physical in the post, getting more rebounds, like you said, more than the Cornhuskers combined.
Maupin gets the second. Press is up for Nebraska. Stolen by Petrie.
And an early second half adjustment, bringing a full court press, forcing a turnover. That's some of the things that head coach Amy Williams is going to have to pull out of the bag here in the second half. You're going to have to change something. And I don't mind that. Wisconsin was a little too comfortable in the the half-court offense by bringing in a full-court press. They're going to have less time in the half-court on offense. You're going to cut down on transition.
And Ronnie Porter was able to force a held ball, so possession back to the Badgers, but the arrow now points towards Nebraska. Ronnie Porter, 2 points on 1 of 2, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Here's Howell looking for her first points of the game. Missed it. Uchenna the rebound, her 11th of the game. Looking for Daniels underneath, but a held ball, and now that arrow points towards Nebraska. They'll take over.
Yeah, Uchenna had the size advantage in the post there as well. She had Logan Nisley on her, who is a guard, so pretty easy rebound there from Uchenna, and she continues to continue stat padding on the boards.
Britt Prince was guarded by Horter, now over to Maupin. Hink to the outside, Petrie the three, missed it. Nebraska 1 for 13 from 3 on the day. The inside pass taken away and stolen by Hake. Hake guarded by Daniels and steals, stepped through both but missed the layup.
Great defensive play by Callan Hake. She was a little out of control going to the rim, looked a little off balance on her Euro step. Kind of just, yeah, you see right here, maybe not. But split the defense, it was honestly a good move. I take it back. Split Kira Daniels and Lacey Steele to get to her left hand, but maybe moving a little too fast, coming full speed down on transition, just can't finish at the rim.
Maupin called for the foul on the other end of the floor. That will be her first of the game. Ronnie Porter, the former walk-on. Pestered on the outside by Britt Prince. Poked away from behind. Prince down the floor. Daniels to defend. Kick out three. Hake the three-pointer. It's good! Britt Prince forces the steal and earns the assist.
And finally, the Cornhuskers get one to fall. It felt like they were in the ice age from shooting from beyond the arc. That was a great play, like you said, defensively from Britt Prince, and then having the wherewithal to kick it back out to a teammate in transition.
Uchenna was blocked under the basket, and Wisconsin will call timeout. Of course, it will not be easy to pick up their second-ranked win of the season against Nebraska despite their lead. Nebraska seems like they've found something on offense here in the third. And a lob over the top. Petrie, another bucket.
That was great vision from Maupin to see that Petrie had the inside leverage on Uchenna, and it was just, it's not, you can see it as one thing, but to make that pass, perfect touch. Great job by Petrie, catching it and finishing at the rim.
Daniels thought about the three, guarded by Maupin. Over to Steele at the right side, now back to Daniels. The cross and the drive. Steps back, mid-range jumper, silky smooth for Kira Daniels.
That was great patience there from Kira Daniels. She didn't force her way to the rim, just took her time dribbling, probing, and found her place.
Logan Nisley, the three in response. Ronnie Porter underneath to Gift Uchenna. Wisconsin's lead down to just 6. Uchenna working on Petrie. 3 seconds in the paint. Turnover, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was great defense there by Petrie, but also just kind of a slip-up by Gift Uchenna. Gotta have better awareness there. Know the time. Better moving the ball, as you see right here. Yeah, I think she traveled, maybe?
I
was
think
the call?
right.
Yeah, I think the right foot kind of slipped. She planted with the left, tried to plant then hard with the right foot to maybe turn back towards her left, but it kind of slipped with the right, and that forced her to travel.
A 9-2-1 for Nebraska to start the second half. Turnover Nebraska, but a foul called on the Badgers.
It's good defense there by Kira Daniels to jump in and block it, but I think she got a little bit too much of the body. Let's see on the replay here. Yeah, looking for Jessica Petrie, and it looked like with the right shoulder and that right arm, Kira Daniels going for the steal. Being aggressive, she's always a positive, but just got to do a better job of going for the ball and avoiding the body contact.
That was Daniels' second foul of the contest. Inbound to Britt Prince. Nebraska down by just 6. Nisley uses the screen. Pull-up jumper, in and out. Britt Prince wanted the rebound. Secured by Kira Daniels. Up the floor goes Ronnie Porter. Doria Zhaja, number 6 for the Badgers, delivers the screen. Freshman from Croatia, seeing some of her first minutes, has been a terrific interior presence for the Badgers. Kira Daniels with 5 on the clock. Terrific pass inside to Zhaja.
And both Huskers committed to Kira Daniels, respecting her three-point shooting ability. Great job by Daniels, keeping her eyes up and finding Doria Zhaja on a good screen and roll.
Prince is doubled. Cycles around Zhaja. Kennedy Williams. Down low to Petrie. Petrie working on Zhaja, forces it up and in. Petrie, 4 points in the second half.
That was a really nice physical bucket by Petrie because Doria Zhaja didn't give her an inch. She played pretty good defense, but Petrie was on a mission, kept her head down, forced her way to the left, and a good finish through contact.
Porter to Zhaja, missed it. Lacey Steele wanted the ball in the corner. Ball is loose. And Hargrove finds an outlet in Britt Prince. Prince scoots in, a pull-up jumper off back iron. Ooh, dangerous pass to Ronnie Porter, stolen away by Britt Prince. And she has been an absolute ball hawk so far.
And it looks like Ronnie Porter's a little tired. A lot of turnovers in the past 30 seconds. That can really take it out of you, running back up and down the court. Run some wind sprints.
Prince goes up and in! Prince with 4 steals has come alive in the second half. And Wisconsin's lead down to just 4. Steele gets it away to Jaya. Almost stolen. Over to Cron. Cron doubled, works under, turns it over. Hargrave emerges. Ball still loose, and a foul called. And it will go on Nebraska. A major 31-13 for the game, including 12-3 on the O boards. Ronnie Porter looking for options, finds one in Steele. 6 on the clock. Steele has to drive in, lost the ball, stolen away. Callan Hake down the floor for the Huskers. Wisconsin offense has gone cold. Hargrove up top to Williams, guarded by Porter. Williams slices in, blows by Bolin, but disrupted underneath. Ball still loose on the ground. Nobody has control. And a held ball means Wisconsin will take over.
You can see there on the scorebook, Wisconsin has not scored in the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Couldn't tell if Shea Bolin got a hand on the ball on Kennedy Williams' layup attempt. And a great job. Look at that. 4 Badgers swarming to the ball to force a jump ball. Great defense. The last 3 possessions, back-to-back great defensive possessions for the Huskers, forcing Wisconsin late into the shot clock both times. And then good defense there by the Badgers to swarm the ball after the missed layup.
Destiny Howell back on the floor for the Badgers, coming off a 39-point performance. Still scoreless so far. And off the steal, blocked from behind by Cron. Lily Cron, the one-person fast break stopper. Who saw that coming?
Yeah, it's a big block to stop fast break opportunity. Wisconsin's got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. They've turned the ball over 4 times in the last 4 minutes.
And for Cron, that is just her second block of the entire season. It came at a good time for the Badgers, who still have the lead, but it's clear that Nebraska has the momentum. Gift Uchenna. Oh, you don't think. Oh, a low arcing 3, banks off the back iron, mopping the rebound.
And she was wide open. Probably not her strength as a player, but when you're open, you can take it.
And back on the other end, Callan Haight cuts the deficit to 1.
And the Huskers already have more threes here in the second half than they did in the first. Not that many to beat, though. Only hitting 1 in the first half. They've got 3 now in the second half on a 7-0 run here.
Inside to Uchenna, spins around Moppin, missed it. A bucket would give Nebraska their first lead of the game.
And I like that offensive possession from Wisconsin with Nebraska kind of having all the momentum. You go inside to what's worked so far in this game with Gift Uchenna in the paint. But ultimately, it was good defense by Moppin, and it doesn't come up with anything.
Stolen away by the Badgers. Cron down the floor. Destiny Howell wants the 3. Howell, it has been a game to forget for her. Still has some time to bust out of the funk. Back on down the floor is Williams. To the corner, Claire Johnson. To the outside, Moppin the 3 for the lead. It's good! Nebraska, the decisive answer, gives them the lead.
That is their first lead of the game, and you knew if you were Wisconsin that you were kind of playing with fire. Nebraska is such a good three-point shooting team. They did come out ice cold, but that wasn't going to last forever, and they've heated up from beyond the arc here in the second half. That's their 4th 3 of the second half.
Ronnie Porter, the 3 in response. Back at ya! It breaks a 13-2 run for Nebraska. And a 4-minute, 30-second scoring drought for the Badgers.
Breakdown in communication there for Nebraska. Both players went with the roller. Forgot to pick up Ronnie Porter.
And Hargrove is blocked. Howell fired up.
I think they're going to get a foul here on Howell.
Sure enough.
And you can see there on the replay, she swatted down at the ball, but made more contact with the wrist of Amaya Hargrove than she did with the ball. So good call there by the officials, but this game's really picked up here in the past minute, hasn't it, Vince?
And for Destiny Howell, 0 for 5, her 4th personal foul of the game. And that's part of what's so stunning about Wisconsin's offensive success. They've done it without their best offensive player overall, as this game is now tied. Amaya Hargrove up to 11 points. She's a player who could seriously win the Big Ten Sixth Person of the Year. The game stays tied. Prince the rebound. Back up top it goes. Hake the deep three. No! But the offensive rebound, and Nebraska retakes the lead. Amaya Hargrove, the putback.
And it looked like Maupin came flying in from the near side, and it kind of took Uchenna out of the play, and then Hargrove found the weak spot, and the ball fell right into her hands, and she finishes an easy layup.
Daniels stopped from the outside, and a turnover by the Badgers that might have been a 3-second violation. And despite the three-pointer from Ronnie Porter, this third quarter has been decisively belonged to the Huskers. Or is it going to be a Wisconsin turnover? That is their 17th of the game. Nebraska with just 8. That's been what has kept them in it, and now it has given them the lead.
Yeah, it's been a big problem for the Badgers. It's their 4th turnover in the last 5 minutes, which is a big reason why Nebraska has been able to go on this 13-3 run. Has been turning the Badgers over and then hitting shots from beyond the arc.
Britt Prince is blocked. Daniels got to put it up, but she will prevent the ball from going out of bounds. And what game, no matter what teams are playing, has come down to the final whistle. So many unforgettable moments from unforgettable players, and this game has the chance to be chief among them. An incredible Nebraska comeback gives them the lead as we enter the 4th quarter from the Kohl Center. Hake drives in, the kick out to Britt Prince. Doubled from the outside, over to Hake for 3. Rebound swatted out of bounds, possession belongs to the Badgers. And Jimmy, for Wisconsin in the third quarter, it was not their finest. Just 3 of 9 from the field. Nebraska, 8 of 17.
And they outscored them 22-7. They really came out with an intensity in the second half. Head coach Amy Williams made some good halftime adjustments. They played more intense defense, more pressure, and they forced a lot of turnovers, Vince, in that third quarter that led to some easy points.
Ronnie Porter wants the 3. It's good! Wisconsin snatches back the lead. Ronnie Porter, her 2nd 3 of the game.
And she was open in the corner. Britt Prince was kind of sagging off a little bit, trying to defend the paint. And a good find, Ronnie Porter, no doubt about it, in the corner. Nothing but nylon.
Porter is shooting 28% for the season from 3. Underneath, down low, Hargrave the bucket.
And Nebraska has gone back to Hargrave. She had 10 points in the first half. And here, late in that third quarter, and right there early in the 4th quarter, they're kind of leading on her a little bit to get them back involved in the paint.
Amaya Hargrove, 15 points, 7 of 8. Brianna Ware, who the officials say she stepped out of bounds. The Badger bench immediately on their feet.
Yeah, that's just a turnover you can't have. Brianna Ware, it goes on both of them. Ronnie Porter, more on Brianna Ware. Just got to be a little bit more aware of where you are on the court. I mean, your home court. Dimensions haven't changed in the 12 games that you've played here. Wisconsin just got to be in such a close game against a team that's as good as Nebraska. You don't want to give them any freebies. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're not going to make many mistakes, so don't give them anything for free.
18 turnovers for the Badgers, just 8 for Nebraska. The Huskers lead by 1. Hargrove back to work, pull-up jumper, no, swatted out of bounds. And I believe the Badgers will have possession.
Yeah, that was great defense by Gift Uchenna to contest on Hargrove's shot. Definitely affected it, as you can see. Hargrove on the air ball. Good defense there by Gift Uchenna. Keep this game a 1-point deficit for the Badgers.
Ronnie Porter at the controls, 8 points, wants it, missed it. And as soon as Ronnie Porter let that one go, she immediately charged in Jimmy. I think she knew that one was off. Eight minutes left in what has been a thrilling game in Madtown.
And after such a cold first half of three-point shooting, the Huskers and the Badgers now have the same amount of three-pointers made.
Britt Prince back to work for her. And she had a quiet first half, but she has really made her impact felt, up to 9 points, 2 assists on 4 of 9 shootings, but she's just been a steady presence on offense. Undoubtedly among the best players in the Big Ten. Almost a turnover, now back out to Porter, swatted away. Kennedy Williams down the floor, blocked by Porter. What a sequence, what a game.
Yeah, and it was a good steal by Kennedy Williams to read the eyes of the Wisconsin defender, or excuse me, the Wisconsin player, Kira Daniels. But right here, you got to recognize that Ronnie Porter's right there with you. It wasn't, a steal where you're way far ahead, and right there, if you're Kennedy Williams, maybe just slow up a little bit and put the shoulder into Ronnie Porter so she can't contest the shot that easily.
To the corner, 3 is good in the corner. Logan Nisley, her first of the game.
And that was a dagger. She was in the corner, and she had a Wisconsin defender right on her. It wasn't open by any means. And after only 1 3-point made in the first half, Cornhuskers now have 6 total. That's 5 in the second half. It has been a big boost offensively as they've taken a 6-point lead late in this game.
Ronnie Porter with 6 on the clock. Down low to Daniels, stolen by Nebraska. Nisley, the spin on Porter, foul under the basket. And Ronnie Porter, that will be her 3rd foul of the game. Jimmy, what we are seeing, in one way, it's easy to call it unprecedented, but just as we were talking, even in that first half, we knew that Nebraska had this kind of surge in them. Maybe what's been most surprising is the way they've shut down the Badgers on defense, especially.
Yeah, they've done a great job of getting into the passing lanes and really disrupting Wisconsin, especially on the screen and roll. They have forced a lot of turnovers, and they have turned those turnovers into points. They've got 16 points off turnovers, a big difference in the box score right there. Wisconsin's only got 7 in the game.
And Brett Prince is fouled under the basket. The foul will belong to Brianna Ware. Nisley to inbound. Gets it to Prince. Howell playing with 4 fouls for the Badgers. Prince drives in on Ware with 8 on the shot clock. Kick out, open 3, rims out.
And that was a good look for Hargrove. She was open. Britt Prince does a good job of getting penetration into the Wisconsin defense and then finding the open shooter. Just doesn't fall.
Foul on Kennedy Williams. That's Nebraska's first of the quarter. And Wisconsin, they scored 17 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second, just 7 in the third. And now midway through the fourth, just the 1 shot made for them gives them 3 points in the fourth. There's a 3-pointer by Ronnie Porter.
Vince checking back into the game. Destiny Howell, the Badgers' best offensive threat. She has not really been a force so far in this game. We'll see if she can get involved here late.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Badgers. Kira Daniels hard to the rim. And she will head to the line for a chance to cap off a 3-point play. Kira Daniels with a make and 1. Daniels with 10 points at 4 of 10 shooting, 6 rebounds. Foul will go on Petrie. That's her second, and Daniels hits the free throw. Nebraska's lead down to 3, still plenty of time left. Kennedy Williams. Hands off to Hake. Prince guarded by Howell. Uses the screen from Petrie. To the outside Maupin. Back to Petrie. Petrie steps through, throws it up, missed it. Ware the rebound, thrown to the floor. Foul on Nebraska.
And Petrie going hard for the rebound. Great job by Brianna Ware. Fearless despite a big size disadvantage. Gets in on the offensive glass, gets her hands dirty, and gets the Badgers the ball back in a 1-possession game. Just under 6 minutes left to play here.
And Brianna Ware, she's been one of the preeminent role players for the Badgers. Can give them an efficient 6, has also taken over at times, scored 10 points in the third quarter against IU Indy. She wants a 3 for the tie. Halfway down but out. Maupin the rebound. Hake down the floor. Prince thought about the 3. Guarded by Daniels. Inside to Petrie. The mismatch on Ware. Over the top. Missed it. Maupin back up. No, but a foul.
Maupin has been everywhere tonight. It's a good a good play by Petrie to recognize that she had the size advantage. Drives to her left, couldn't finish at the rim, and Maupin comes flying in. She got up there, grabs the rebound, and goes right back up with it. That's always important when you get offensive rebounds. There's a lot of bodies down there. It can get a little congested. It's important not to bring it down, because then you get the hands in and you might lose the ball. Maupin did a good job of grabbing the rebound and going right back up with it, and she draws a foul.
Wisconsin had 10 offensive rebounds in the first half, just 1 in the second. Maupin hits them both. Nebraska's lead up to 5. As Gift Uchenna subs in for the Badgers.
Gift Uchenna, after putting up 18 points in the first half, has yet to score here in the second.
Stolen by Nebraska again. Wisconsin, their 20th turnover of the game. Haley Weaver over to Britt Prince. The screen from Maupin, driving around Uchenna. Scoops up the ball over to Hake. Callan Hake with 5 on the shot clock at the free throw line. Works in, steps through, a kick out. Hargrove walked with it.
It was a good job there by Wisconsin, playing good recovery defense, forcing a turnover on the Huskers.
Relief game after such a difficult stretch within their schedule, but Wisconsin has given the Huskers all they can handle. Gift Uchenna lost the ball. I believe possession will stay with the Badgers.
And it looked like Hargrove got in there, tried to play in front Uchenna in the post, got her hand and knocked it away, prevent Uchenna from catching that ball cleanly.
Kira Daniels driving on Hake. Into Uchenna, looking for her first points of the half, and she is headed to the free throw line.
Yep, she got deep post position there on Maupin. She was inside the restricted arc when she set up on defense. And Maupin, you're playing defense there, you're so deep in the post that just standing straight up isn't going to do anything to deter on defense. Forced to foul and make Uchenna earn it from the line.
And for Gift Uchenna, it was a show in the first half. 18 points on 9 of 13 shooting. In the second, that was her first point of the half. But she's still giving the Badgers an impressive amount of production. She is the reason why the Badgers took that lead, and now she's the reason why the Badgers cut it to 1 possession here with 4:31 left.
Nebraska has not had a field goal in just about 3 minutes. The only points they've gotten has come from the line. Wisconsin has done a good job. It's been really in the scrambled defensive situations. Nebraska has had good ball movement, but Wisconsin's been able to keep up with it so far.
Hargrove over to Prince, guarded by Porter. The screen from Maupin. Nisley swoops underneath, wants it, can't get it, and what a rebound by Maupin. Britt Prince with 6 on the clock. Down low to Maupin. She got the offensive board, and now she gets the bucket.
Really nice bucket there from Maupin, because Gift Uchenna played great defense, but ultimately it was just the length. She's able to really stretch out with her long right arm and kind of go up and under and get a big 2 for the Huskers.
Porter off the give and go from Uchenna.
And we know she can score, Gift Uchenna. We've seen her get a lot of rebounds, and there she shows us the third facet of her game, finding Ronnie Porter on a nice cut to the rim.
Logan Nisley slid over to Hake. Up to Prince from the outside for 3. No! And a foul under the basket will go on Nebraska. It will be Hargrove, and Wisconsin is in the bonus, Jimmy, so free throws coming up.
Yep, good call. Hargrove, I think, just kind of trapped Kira Daniels' left arm, and they were going to get her for a foul there. That's costly because send Wisconsin to the charity stripe for free. They don't even have to set up in the half-court offense. They get a chance at 2 points here.
Second foul on Hargrove. And you got to give Wisconsin credit, Jimmy. When Nebraska took that lead in the third, they did it so fast, it kind of felt like they were ready to just run away with this one. But Wisconsin, they have fought back the best they can as Kira Daniels hits the first free throw. That puts her at 14 points on the game.
And the biggest thing I've seen in maybe the last 4 or 5 minutes has been Wisconsin has gotten back to valuing the basketball. When Nebraska made that big run, they did it with good three-point shooting and good offense, but Wisconsin also didn't do themselves any favors either. They were turning the ball over. There was multiple times where they had 4 turnovers in just as many minutes. And here in the last 4 minutes, they've kind of settled down, and they've done a much better job at doing the most important thing in the sport, and that's valuing the ball.
Under 3 minutes in Madtown. Hake, pull-up jumper from the free throw line. No! And here come the Badgers. Tapped from behind. Porter slides in. Ball loose on the deck. Hargrove is guarded by Steele. To the outside, Hake. Howell the defense. And a timeout called by Nebraska.
I think it's a good timeout by Coach Williams. It's such good to jump into passing lanes and get quick steals, which allows them to just run down the court uncontested in transition.
Jimmy Lynch, that one that wins words.
That was a little harsh.
Britt Prince driving in on Porter. On her way to the rim, she scores.
And there you go, right out of the timeout. Coach Williams goes right to her best player, sets her up, gives her a good screen, a long drive to the right, extended, and Britt Prince gets a good 2. That's a great play out of the timeout from head coach Amy Williams.
Ronnie Porter to Daniels. This is for the tie. It's good! Kira Daniels, 18 points.
What a shot. I mean, she was open, but she absolutely buried that 3 to tie the game.
Crowd on his feet in Madison. Britt Prince at the controls. Prince doubled on the outside. Up top to Hargrove. 2 on the clock. Hargrove. Prince has to fire. No! Porter the rebound. 70 seconds to play. Steele for the lead. Rebound under the basket. Held ball called. Possession stays with the Badgers. Whew.
Buckle up. And then you see just how much this game means to both teams. Fighting hard for a rebound under the rim. Uchenna and Amaya Hargrove. 1 minute, 8 seconds left to play. We'll see where Wisconsin goes. I think you probably go to Kira Daniels, as it looks like the Badgers are going to take a timeout. And they are.
Jimmy, it has been some kind of game we've had the privilege of gazing upon so far. There have been 10 lead changes throughout. Wisconsin has led for 21 minutes. They led the entirety of the first half and into the third.
It was not being able to get into the offensive sets because they couldn't get any rebounds. Wisconsin was out rebounding them. They were hammering the glass.
Howell on her way to the rim. She missed it. And a foul called on the putback. Kira Daniels doing it all for the Badgers.
That was a great play drawn up from Coach Pinchton to get Destiny Howell. She was wide open coming down to the lane. The Huskers completely lost her. But maybe that's Vince a little effective sitting on the bench for so long in this game. Remember, she has 4 fouls. She sat out most of the second half with foul trouble. Just a little cold, perhaps, but in the end, Kira Daniels is there to clean up the mess and get to the free throw line.
Kira Daniels has given Wisconsin the lead. The transfer from Missouri State hit a bank 3 to force overtime. She misses the second. And a travel called on Nebraska.
And Malpin did a good job grabbing the rebound, but she got caught under the rim. A great job by Giffy Uchenna. As you can see, she's fired up, and rightfully so. Great defense to not give Malpin an inch, and good job by the Badgers recognizing that Malpin was in trouble and really clamping down and not letting her pass it out.
Porter has no options available. Has to heave it up to Uchenna, who secures. Under 1 minute to play. Uchenna into the paint. Got it! Gift Uchenna up to 22 points on the day. Wisconsin by 3. Timeout, Nebraska.
When they've needed her most, she has stepped up big. Gift Uchenna played great defense on Maupin to force the turnover. Gets it on the rebound for Ronnie Porter.
If Nebraska's good at one thing, it's hitting 3 balls. And they have control, down 3. Callan Hake to inbound. Over to Britt Prince, shooting over 50% from 3 on the year. Prince double down the outside, into the corner, for the tie from Nisley. Porter the rebound.
Well, they had it drawn up exactly how they wanted. They got Nisley wide open in the corner. Another good play drawn up out of a timeout by Coach Williams, but it ultimately just doesn't fall.
Wisconsin will let the clock tick. Under 30 seconds to play from Madison, Wisconsin. Ronnie Porter at the controls, guarded by Britt Prince. Now to Destiny Howell. She has no points in the game, but has been the closer for this squad. Howell, not there. And a timeout called by Nebraska. It is their last one. And Jimmy, this is where we get to talk about the age-old question. Do you foul?
12.6 seconds on the clock. Personally, I think the general rule is if that clock gets down to 5 seconds, I would foul. How many? The Badgers, 3 fouls. They're not in the, yes, 3 fouls. Nebraska not yet in the bonus. So you're not in danger of giving them free throws, and you know all too well how that can end. Throw back to Virginia, Purdue, 2019. Mamadi Diakite kick it out to Kia Clark to tie it up.
For the Badgers, Howell, Porter, Uchenna, Daniels, and Steele. 12.6 to play. Hake to inbound for the Huskers, down 3. Jets it into Prince, guarded by Daniels. And there's the immediate foul from Kira Daniels. Wisconsin, they did have one to give.
Would assume they will do the same thing and foul one more time. 10.9 seconds left just to keep this play disrupted.
Daniels up to 4 fouls on the game. Inbound to Prince. 8 on the clock. The height mismatch on Porter for the tie. Missed it all. Back out. Blocked by Howell. Final seconds ticking down. She is fouled. Destiny Howell struggling all day. She is the moment in the last possession.
How about the defense there from Wisconsin? You can see it right here on the replay board. Destiny Howell defending Callan Hake without fouling, contesting and blocking the shot. Here's a little bit of a review. Great job by Destiny Howell. She has the size advantage, the height advantage. Does a great job of contesting the shot, and even before that, Ronnie Porter blanketed Britt Prince, didn't let her get open, forced her into the corner where you can't really do much over there. Great defense by the back.
And I believe Wisconsin might have to actually inbound the ball. My mistake. So no fouls coming up. Wisconsin was not in the bonus. So Nebraska will be undoubtedly going all out. Into Howell. Final seconds ticking off, and the Badgers have done it. Their second ranked win of the season and their 5th conference win overall. They surpassed
top ever ranking. And that was achieved earlier on this year in that March. She's had a fabulous season, and that long time to put right at the start of the year in Auckland. But she's won 3 career titles already, 2 of them came 4 years ago, Lyon and Luxembourg. All 5 of her career finals have come on hard courts. Not a grass court specialist, but she's got the game to do well on this surface. She also could be an outside bet to push the top 7 hard in the race to Rio. She's not too far down on the list, but she's down on the head-to-head against Nira Androva, who is dominating. And all 3 meetings have come this season, and the last one in Rome in the under-16 was very, very tight. In fact, that was the first set that Towson has ever won off Androva, so she is getting closer, but still never beaten. Mondilara, Marcella from France. So Robert is in the chair today, the first match of the day.